Hey, Denise, I believe that you're live. All right, guys, let's get right into this. Today is Wednesday, July the 27th, 2022. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to have to give this a 9. It's pretty good. All right, so we see Lee, Bill, and Liam. We see that they're speaking and they're just in shock because they find out that Finn is alive. Now she did have to tell them what happened because they were like, Lee, we know you know your mind, the mind plays tricks when you're upset and everything. And she was like, no, this is not my mind playing tricks. She said everyone thought Finn was dead. I'm the one who saved him. I went in and I found him at the brought him to my hospital and they declared him dead. So I signed off on the death certificate. I broke all types of rules and laws and I saved him. And so Liam said, if Finn is alive, then Lee, you saved him. You kept him alive and everything. I'm not gonna hold you long on it. So then he says, well, we gotta call Steffi. And so, because they're like, but she tells them that Sheila has, like, then she tells them what happened with Sheila. Sorry. So she says that she was taking care of him, and Sheila, some kind of way, found her, and she came over and she threw her out of the way. Y'all know the story. And she chased Lee down, and Lee said, I lost control of my car, and that's how all the trauma and everything happened. And that's Bill says that's why you were in the alley. And then they say, well, Liam tells her, then you saved him. I said, I thought they were gonna make Leah, like, they were gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she did that. But on another note, it is like you could see why Lee wouldn't tell that Finn was alive, because she didn't want to get anyone's hopes up that he would survive this tragedy, because she wasn't 100% sure that he would. So then they say Liam is like, we have to tell Steffi, and Bill is like, no, you cannot tell Steffi. We don't know what kind of condition we're gonna find Finn in, especially with Sheila involved, so we can't tell. And Liam was like, yeah, you're probably right. And they said at least Bill asked Lee, could she take him to Finn, and she said, if you drive, I guess if you drive, I'll tell you where it is. I could point it out. So Liam is gonna go, and Bill and Lee are gonna go together and find Finn. So then we see Taylor and Ridge on the plane. Taylor and Ridge on the plane. Anyways, Taylor and Ridge are on this plane, y'all, and she's just reminiscing about Finn and Steffi, and she can't believe that she didn't know Steffi was doing so bad. And then she talks about how um she's cyber stalking Lee because, it's just so weird that Lee hasn't said anything to them, hasn't, tried to reach out, didn't let them know about his, burial, anything. And then she falls asleep and wakes up on Ridge, and she says she was dreaming about Steffi being happy. I'm not gonna hold y'all long. It's the same thing that they've been saying. They're just on their way to go and get to check on Steffi and everything, just to make sure that she knows that they support her. All right, so then we go to Sheila and Finn, and Sheila and Finn are talking, and he continues to tell her the same thing, which is that if you love me, you say you love me. If you love me like you say you do, love me like you say you do. But anyways, if you love me like you say you do, you would go ahead and let me go. I want to see my wife and my son. And then he tells her, you will never see Hayes. Like what you did with Steffi, you killed my mom, you will never see Hayes. And she said, don't say that. I said, please, Finn, don't say that. Because, Sheila don't take kind to thinking that she'll never be able to see y'all. And then, you know what? This is why Sheila is my girl, because she got over that corner and she was like, it wasn't supposed to be like this. She said, I came to Los Angeles to really make a fresh start. I just want you to know who I was. I wanted to know my son. And she said, and then why it always does this with me. It always gets out of control. I said, girl, it sure does. And she said, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. And I do believe Sheila. I honestly think she didn't mean for any of it to happen, but you can't say that and then turn around and continue to blame Steffi for it happening. Like, oh, if she would just been nice to me. Oh, if she would have just been this to me and that to me. You can't do that, Sheila. And you know you my girl, but I can't ride with you when you do that. And that's why Finn is like that as well. He just keeps saying, let me be with my wife. I'm not gonna hold you much longer. So Spence gets on out of the bed, and she said, what are you doing? He said, I'm going to be with my wife. And she said, well, what what are you going, like, you're not well enough. And he was like, yes, I am. And so then she goes by his machines, and he's like, what you doing? She said, I'm just checking your vitals and everything. I'm not doing anything. And at this point, I feel like Sheila knows defeat, because he said, what's the end game? Like, what's the end game here? She said, I never was trying to keep you away from your family. I just wanted this time with you. Okay, mama. I just wanted this time with you to myself, because she was like, I don't want to go back to prison and know that, how you feel about me and everything. And so it is what it is. At that point, he gets up and he says, I'm going to get Steffi. I'm going to let her know. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. All right. He said, I'm going to let Steffi know that I'm alive, because it's cruel to keep her in the dark about this. And she says, she lets him go. She said, you can't, you're not strong enough to walk and all that. He said, I'm doing it, Sheila. So Finn gets out of bed, and she pretty much lets him go, because she's like, I'm not going to sedate you anymore. I'm not going to do anything anymore. I think she's given up at this point. And so Finn is in the hallway, and I said, Sheila, what you finna do? Nah, you my girl and all, but I ain't like that you was behind Finn. I'm like, why y'all keep turning y'all backs to Sheila? But she didn't do anything. I thought she was gonna knock him out or something, but she didn't. She just touched his back and said, Finn, and she had tears in her eyes. And then it was footsteps approaching, and the door bust open, and it's Bill, and he's like, oh my God, Finn, you're alive. And Finn is looking at him, and he tells Finn, you're safe now. Everything is fine now. And then Lee comes in, and Finn says, Mom, Mama. And, they embrace and hug, and he's emotional, and Lee's emotional, and they're hugging. And he says, I love you and everything to her. And Sheila looks on at this, and you can see the pain in her eyes, because the relationship he has with Lee is what she wanted. And so Lee looks at Sheila and everything. So one, Sheila knows Lee is alive, and two, the relationship she wanted with Finn. Sorry, y'all, I forgot to change the slide. The relationship she wanted with Finn. Lee has that exact relationship that she wanted, and I guess that's painful for Sheila. But if I don't know, they just make Sheila so. She just does off things, like she tries to hold people that she wants in her life and loves too tight, and you can't control someone. But anyways, guys, that was the bold and the beautiful today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow for a new episode. Bye.